And the US plan to guide ships through the Strait of Hormuz, announced by President Donald Trump just hours before it went into effect, leaves a lot of unanswered questions. US Central Command said in a statement on X that its support for the operation, dubbed Project Freedom, will include guided missile destroyers, over 100 land and sea-based aircraft, multi-domain unmanned platforms. And warning. This story contains references to suicide and self-harm, which some may find distressing. Oleg, a 24-year-old who grew up in the western Russian city of Ufa, thought he was signing up to work as a security guard at the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant in the occupied part of southeastern Ukraine.
Aaron Hardy's brilliant all-round performance ensured Peshawar Zalmi clinched their second Pakistan Super League cricket title with a 5-wicket win over newcomers Hyderabad Kingsmen. Despite an early wobble in the run chase in the final, Hardy grabbed 427 to bowl out Hyderabad for a below-par 129 all-out in 18 overs and then hit a fluent 56 not out off 39 balls to anchor Peshawar to 135 in 15. 2 overs in front of a packed crowd at the Gaddafi Stadium in Lahore on Sunday.
And a North Korean women's football club will become the first sports team from the country to play in South Korea since 2018. When they visit this month, Seoul's Ministry of Unification has confirmed the neighbours remain technically at war after their 1950-53 conflict ended in an armistice rather than a peace treaty, and sporting and cultural exchanges between them are very rare.
The global oil supply squeeze from shipping disruptions in the Strait of Hormuz during the United States-Israeli war on Iran is having an enormous impact across the Asia-Pacific. Japan's Prime Minister warns Sanae Takaichi made the comments on Monday during a visit to Australia, where both countries signed agreements to boost cooperation on energy and critical minerals.
And the Punjab Education Curriculum Training and Assessment Authority, SPECTRA, has initiated curriculum reforms for grades I to V aimed at shifting primary education from rote memorization to concept-based learning. The development comes as the authority held the inaugural meeting of its Curriculum Advisory Committee to review the existing primary education framework and outline a new reform strategy.
Pakistan T20I captain Salman Ali Agha has admitted that his decision in the final over of the Asia Cup 2025 final against India national cricket team remains his biggest captaincy regret. Speaking on the RE podcast, Salman Ali Agha said that handing the ball to passer Haris Rauf instead of spinner Abrar Ahmed may have cost Pakistan the title. Pakistan Cricket Board PCB Chairman Mohsin Naqvi has announced that new venues will be included in next year's Pakistan Super League PSL, signalling plans to expand the tournament. Speaking to the media, Mohsin Naqvi thanked the people of Lahore and praised cricket fans for their discipline and enthusiasm during the final. He said the atmosphere at Gaddafi Stadium was exceptional, with fans showing strong passion and energy.
And Sindh Chief Minister Syed Murad Ali Shah on Sunday reviewed major infrastructure projects in Karachi and directed departments to speed up work on the Bus Rapid Transit (BRT) Red Line while ensuring quality and transparency. And the Chief Minister, accompanied by provincial ministers, the Karachi Mayor and senior officials, and inspected the Red Line corridor from People's Chowrangi to Sephora Chowrangi, and later visited Palwan Goth to assess rehabilitation work on the main traffic route.
Ubisoft has reportedly removed around 50 developers from Assassin's Creed Hexi as the company's new leadership team reshapes the project. This could potentially put the upcoming title's development in trouble. The reported changes came last week, shortly after Ubisoft cancelled an unannounced project known internally as Altera. Nothing says Daisy fast food like the humble paratha roll. Simple, easy to make, surprisingly nutritious. It's the ultimate on-the-go lunch for students, salary persons, and anyone who just doesn't have the time to sit down and eat a full meal. Naturally, Pakistan's fastest-paced city and beating heart has perfected the dish to an art form. Everyone agrees, Karachi has the best rolls in the country.
And the Pakistan Stock Exchange's benchmark index on Monday rose 4,000 points during intraday trade. The KSE 100 index gained 4,170 points to reach 167,164.26 points from the previous close of 162,994.17 points at 11:29 p.m.
Under hazy spring sunshine on Saturday, hundreds of young Solites turned up at a park by the Han River at the invitation of the city government to try to do something many overworked South Koreans never get enough of: sleep. The Seoul Metropolitan Government staged its third annual spring event, dubbed a Power Nap Contest, from 3 p.m. under a refreshed set of admission requirements for would-be participants. Wear outfits befitting either a sleeping beauty or prince. Come tired with a full belly.
And celebrations have erupted across Milan after Inter clinched the Serie A title with a 2-0 victory over Parma, sending thousands of supporters into the streets. The Piazza del Duomo was filled with fans clad in blue and black on Sunday, moments after the final whistle at the nearby San Siro, as flares and fireworks lit up the night sky. And Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar spoke with Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi. With the regional situation and Pakistan's ongoing diplomatic efforts coming under discussion, the Foreign Office, FO, said on Monday. Discussion focused on the regional situation and Pakistan's ongoing diplomatic efforts for peace and stability in the region, the FO said, adding that the call took place late Sunday night. And vote counting in key Indian state elections was underway on Monday under tight security, with the focus on West Bengal, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi's party is hoping for crucial gains. Elections in 5 states and territories took place in April and May, and Modi's Bharatiya Janata Party, BJP, the ruling party in the national parliament, is hoping to make inroads into opposition-held states. And Pakistan is working to secure the passage of 2 liquefied natural gas cargoes from Qatar as authorities race to avoid supply disruptions caused by tensions around the Strait of Hormuz. The 2 vessels are already loaded and positioned near the mouth of the strait, with Pakistani authorities engaged in diplomatic and operational coordination to ensure their safe movement into open waters, the officials said. The effort includes consultations with Iranian counterparts.
An Iranian ship that was seized by the United States after it failed to comply with the blockade imposed by the country on Iranian ports has been transferred to Pakistan for repatriation, American outlet ABC News reported on Monday. US forces completed the transfer of 22 crew members of MV Tosca to Pakistan for repatriation. The report quoted US Central Command spokesperson Captain Tim Hawkins as saying.
And Lahore. A controversial plan to convert a part of a key cotton research institute in Multan into a gymkhana club has alarmed the stakeholders, who warned that the plan, if executed, could further undermine Pakistan's already struggling cotton sector earlier, and concerns had also been expressed after the historic building of the Karachi Cotton Association, KCA in Karachi, long regarded as a global symbol of Pakistani cotton, was first sealed by the Federal Investigation Agency, FIA, and is now reportedly being used to house the agency's offices.
China remains committed to the upcoming meeting between its leader Xi Jinping and US President Donald Trump, regardless of the situation in the Middle East, and cautiously views its adversary's months-long conflict with Iran as having potentially strengthened its negotiating position. According to Chinese sources familiar with the matter, the rare in-person meeting already once delayed due to the US-Israeli war with Iran, is now scheduled for May 14-15, according to the White House. Several sources indicate Beijing views the high-stakes summit as a singular opportunity to secure a more stable long-term relationship with its largest economic and military competitor. The Kremlin has dramatically increased the personal security around President Vladimir Putin, installing surveillance systems in the homes of close staffers as part of new measures prompted by a wave of assassinations of top Russian military figures and fears of a coup, according to a report from a European intelligence agency obtained by CNN. Cooks, bodyguards, and photographers who work with the president are also banned from traveling on public transport, the dossier says. Visitors to the Kremlin chief must be screened twice, and those working close to him can only use phones without internet access, it adds.
Oil prices are largely unmoved following United States President Donald Trump's announcement that the US will guide stranded vessels out of the Strait of Hormuz. Brent crude, the international benchmark, was essentially flat on Monday morning, as traders saw little hope of Trump's plans resolving the biggest energy disruption in history. Across the Middle East, three main hotspots should remain cause for concern for the international community: the frozen Iran war, the Lebanese conflict, and the dire humanitarian situation in Gaza. All these crises are interlinked as they involve either direct US military intervention or Washington-backed aggression by Israel. Therefore, in the interests of peace, America must refrain from further militaristic adventurism while also restraining its bellicose ally Israel. Short of this, it is difficult to see these conflicts being resolved peacefully.
IT is becoming increasingly uncertain how long the Iran war, now in its third month, will last. Until recently, it seemed American and Iranian interests aligned in wanting to avoid a protracted conflict, although Israel's didn't. That impression gained strength when they held their first, and so far only, face-to-face talks in Islamabad last month. After that, the peace process faltered, and a second round of negotiations proved elusive, despite intense efforts by Pakistan, supported by key regional states. Pakistan's active mediation subsequently involved exchanging messages and negotiating proposals between Tehran and Washington. That process continues. The UAE, the third largest oil producer in the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, left the group last Friday, ending its almost six-decade membership. This was a serious blow to OPEC and the expanded OPEC+, which also includes Russia. It weakened the group and its capacity to influence global oil market dynamics. Within OPEC, the UAE held the second largest spare capacity behind Saudi Arabia. And this spare capacity played a significant role in balancing global energy markets during crises. Although Saudi Arabia will continue to play that role with its considerably larger spare capacity, OPEC has lost the additional UAE cushion to leverage the markets.
Quetta, Federal Planning and Development Minister Ahsan Iqbal has convened a meeting of the authorities concerned on Monday in Islamabad to review the situation created by a Chinese company's sudden announcement of closing all its operations in Pakistan and China, as well as a factory in Gwadar. The management of the company, Hangeng Group, EEP, issued a statement on Friday citing administrative, policy and other hurdles in running its business.
The near-term future of a strong grassroots democracy remains uncertain despite escalating pressure for it in an intensifying national debate, with the country's ruling parties apparently unwilling or unable to uphold principles underlying the empowerment of the third tier of government. The views vary among and within political parties, with political leaders often divided between those who stand for some sort of limited empowerment of the local government (LG) system and those who seek devolution of political administrative and financial responsibility to the elected local representatives as provided under Article 140A of the Constitution.
When Spirit Airlines shut down overnight Saturday, cancelling all flights, letting go of 17,000 employees and telling ticket holders to just not come to the airport, people were flabbergasted but also bereft. For all its indignities, Spirit was cheap. Then one of them had an idea. Hunter Peterson, a voice actor with frequent flyer grievances, posted a TikTok asking, what if 20% of American adults chipped in the price of a Spirit fare and just bought it? He called it Spirit 2.0, owned by the people. Within hours, he'd thrown up a website, a janky one-hour job by his own admission. And by Sunday, 36,000 founding patrons had pledged nearly $23 million, crashing his servers in the process. Establishment Division transfers Encadrid officers, many of whom are close to retirement, to KP and Balochistan. Under rotation policy, these postings were supposed to go to younger officers. IGP says matter will be taken up with Islamabad. Estab's secretary claims rotation policy suspended at province's request Lahore. The Establishment Division has transferred 10 police officers from Punjab to hard areas in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Balochistan for a mandatory period of 1 year. Despite concerns about their advanced age and health, Dawn has learnt. 3 people have died on a cruise ship in the Atlantic, with at least 1 confirmed to have suffered from hantavirus, a rare disease transmitted to humans from rodents. Health authorities are now investigating a suspected outbreak of the virus on the MV Hondius, which is sailing from Ushuaia in Argentina to Cape Verde.